What's up, everybody? Welcome to Geology. Glad you're here. And I want to just do a quick overview video of the course so that you see how to navigate this thing and we can get through this as easy as possible. Yours looks like this. I'm going to show you the one from the fall, though, just to see what it looks like as it develops, right? So the way I do it, if you go to content here, what you're going to see are all of the segments spelled out as we go. Now, I'm not going to do a midterm in the 3-week version of this, so that's not going to be there. But everything else, by the time we get to the end, is pretty much going to look the same. Okay? For today, I've got it set up so that only that first thing is in there. I still have a couple things to load in, but that's what it'll be, segment 1, because that's what we're going to work on for the 12th and the 13th here. All right, each one of them will have a survival guide, which is kind of the outline of what to do. And then below that will be anything else I talk about in the videos, other files, note sheets, and some of them. But the crux of it is doing the work. And then once we get to the end of it, there will be a quiz that pops up right here. And that's going to be where the points lie. Okay. Let's also check, and this is probably the most important document of the whole thing right here, is this course schedule. So check this out. Print it, use it as your desktop on your computer, do what you got to do to make sure that you see this. There's not going to be necessarily the notifications that pop up in bright space. This is it. This is where everything is. I also did it as a calendar here, so if you want it visually. And then I also did that as like a separate file right there. If you just want the image of that calendar, there you go. And if you want it all spelled out with the dates and the reading assignments and in red when the quizzes are going to be, there you go right there. It goes pretty fast. This is a major task to try to put a whole course into 3 weeks, really less than 3 weeks. But we focus, we work every day, we can nail through it. And that's one of the things about these short versions is if you disappear for a couple of days, it's kind of like during a regular semester if you were to disappear for a couple of weeks. It really makes it tricky to make it through. It's set up so that we're doing this work here with the quiz the 13th, and then we're moving on. And then we're doing this work here with the quiz on the 16th, and then we're moving on. And it's not going to be the kind of thing where we get into these dates down here, and we're going to go back and try to fix quizzes from back then. To make it all in 3 weeks, we got to stick by this calendar, go by these dates, work our way through. All right, so do what you got to do to make sure that this is in your mind, available to you all the time. Christmas makes it a little bit chaotic because I didn't want to have that be one of the days. So let's just look at the calendar version here. What we got, a 2-day, a 3-day, and so on, right? A bunch of these. Christmas will be off. And really, this should have been 2 days each. But what I'm going to do is basically run them simultaneous. I think by the time we get this deep in the course, you'll have seen how a segment goes. You'll know how long it takes you. And I'm just going to have to set up these two together at the same time. So you do your work according to how you've done on the previous 5 segments for those two together, and I'll have the quiz open. I think I set it so that the quiz will be open for both on both the 27th and 28th. So the advice is work your way all the way through segment 6, do the quiz, then start segment 7, work your way all through all of that, and then do the quiz, and we'll be good. All right. One thing that's missing, because I've misplaced the file, but I'll find it here before we get before the day is over. I don't have the syllabus up, so I got to find that. So let me show you the one from the last one. And the reason I don't want to copy it is because there's not a midterm. That changes a little bit. And the idea of, the dates are different. It's not the fall. But when I get this up, which again will be today, I'll have it up maybe even by the time you're watching this video. The keys to success: stick to the schedule. Mention that hard. Keep in contact. This was very true last semester in the fall. People that reach out to me ahead of time generally have good things to say about me at the end of a term. People that reach out after they've already missed a whole bunch of stuff and say, I want to go back and fix everything, tend not to like me so much. Keep in touch, right? The grading policy, because there's not a midterm here, I'm going to make this 10% more and this 10% less. So it'll be 10 for discussions, 60 for the quizzes, and 30 for the final. But again, I'll have that official on documentation very soon. And lastly, very thoroughly read this thing on segment quizzes. Make sure that you see all the rules that we do by them so that when hopefully nothing goes wrong, but when it happens, this is what we're going by. This is probably the most important bullet. The lowest quiz will be dropped, and I do that for all of the things that happened. I understand that sometimes, you know, people miss them. There's all kinds of things that happen. Here's a list of things that have happened to people throughout the years that I've gotten emails on. So that I can't like judge like, oh, this person's situation is different than this situation, right? So it's just everybody gets one drop. If you miss a quiz, it's dropped. If you do all your quizzes, then just your lowest one gets dropped, and then you know that helps your grade, right? If you end up missing multiple, yes, your grade is going to start to suffer for that. That's kind of the deal with these courses. It's how it goes, right? So that hopefully takes care of all of our issues. But again, let's aim not to have any of those, and we'll be in good shape. Everything else is pretty standard. That'll be there very soon. That should do it, right? So once you've made it through that, you can start with the rest of the segment 1 stuff that'll be here momentarily. All right, everybody, look forward to it. Hold on tight. It goes very fast. That online textbook's your friend. I'll just note, if you want to see what it looks like, if you haven't played with it yet, when I do the videos, I tend to go to this PDF version. I think they're way easier to look at. If you go to download PDF files and you go to one of the chapters, plus then you can download them onto a tablet or a computer or whatever if you don't have internet somewhere else you're going. So that's what I do in the videos. Check those out, and we will talk to you all soon. All right. Good luck, everybody.